Welcome to St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show. Blake was wondering if I could get to the mic before the mic got me. I got to the mic. We have a great show for you today. It's all young guys and me. So you guys are going to have a blast. It's going to be awesome. But before we get to, I might as well introduce everybody and then do the reads because then they can't do the reads. Levi is here with me tonight. Levi, welcome back.
Thank you.
You got the beard looks good. I didn't even notice beforehand.
I went to the barbershop today and got cleaned up. I was going for the winter big bushy beard.
Yes.
And my girlfriend said it was pricking her in the face at night.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to snuggle up, so I had to trim her down.
So if you want to snuggle, you got to trim up the beard.
You got to trim up the beard.
Okay, that's important to know.
Yep.
It's important to know. And you, Mr. Beard Man, are we trimming it? We saving it? We growing it? How long? I mean, it looks good.
I have no idea, Mike, and probably I don't care.
You don't care. Whatever happens, happens.
It might go out, it might grow out, it might stay this length. I have no idea.
I just want to know, where'd your dad get the gray beard from? Because you got a beautiful black beard. So where did he get his gray beard from?
Probably from the DeLand water.
The DeLand water. That's it. I like that answer. That's really good. All right, we're going to talk about a whole host of things. And in fact, Blake and Levi will be back on tomorrow night as well. But Casey Van Rysdom's coming to sit in. Blake, I brought you back up for both the political conversation and trivia.
All
right. Casey's a little stronger arguer than Lenny, so I brought you somebody that's got a little more juice there.
Okay.
All right, just looking out for you, buddy. All right, let's make some money for this show so I can pay Blake and I can pay everybody else. South State, the team at South State is a group of bankers that you can count on. Their approach to building long-term relationships with their customers is the best in the business. If you're looking for a banking relationship that you can depend on, check out South State Bank. They've got 3 locations to service here in St. Augustine, one on State Road 312, one on State Road 16. And my favorite, the branch over at the beach, because I don't have to leave the island. You can also visit their website at southstatebank.com. They are a member of the FDIC. Blake's typing, so I'll do one more, and then we're going to switch to Levi.
Okay.
Blake is frantically working. Epic Behavioral Health Care. For over 50 years, Epic has been a beacon of hope for our community, providing compassionate care for those touched by substance use or mental health disorders, whether you're a kid, teen, adult, couple, or family. Epic is here to lend a helping hand. With a range of programs tailored to meet diverse needs, Epic offers accessible solutions for everyone. From their walk-in centers to their mobile response team, from inpatient detoxification to outpatient counseling, Epic provides comprehensive care every step of the way. Their services include psychiatric evaluations, medication management, medication-assisted treatment, care coordination, peer support, suicide prevention training, parenting education, and much, much more. I made them shorten the list because that's a lot of great stuff that they already do. If you need help, give Epic a call. Amazing group. They've been serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. Levi.
St. Augustine home and business owners, have you been thinking about giving your property a refresh? Let me tell you about Cleansing Power LLC. They're the one-stop shop for all your exterior cleaning needs and more. They do it all. Pressure washing, soft washing, keeping your home looking spotless. We do pavers. They do pavers to protect your investment. If you got dirty windows, they'll handle that too. Whether you're a homeowner looking to boost your curbside appeal or a business owner looking to keep your storefront sharp, Cleansing Power LLC has you covered. They take on both residential and commercial projects. But wait, there's more. If you're looking for a complete transformation, they also do interior and exterior painting services as well. Don't take my word for it. Check out their 5-star reviews on Google. You can also follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for cleaning tips and inspiration. Ready to make your property shine? Give Cleansing Power LLC a call today at 904-687-8236 or shoot them an email at cleansingpowerllc@gmail.com to schedule your free estimate. Cleansing Power LLC, renew your property.
All right, and also A to Z, roofing and waterproofing. They offer free estimates and have been serving St. Johns County for over 20 years. A to Z offers painted metal roofs with saltwater area homes with warranties up to 25 years. And A to Z offers shingle roofs with warranties up to 50 years. They also install tile roofing, cedar, shake, shingles, designer roofing, and flat roof coverings. You can go to their website, A2Z roofingandwaterproofing.com for pictures and material descriptions of past projects, or just give Chuck and his staff a call, 904-669-8037. A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing. Love those folks. They're amazing. All right, boys. We can talk about anything. We can talk about sports today. Amanda's not here. Whoo! Thank God she's not, because Clemson lost in a bad one. Did you guys watch the Clemson loss?
For football?
For football.
Yeah, I did. They beat Kentucky last night in basketball.
Did they? Okay. They did. So basketball's going on.
They beat the number 4 team in the country.
Yep. Clemson was had a chance maybe to go easily to the college football playoff, and then lost to South Carolina. Had it all lined up for the game-tying field goal. Couldn't take a sack. Couldn't do throw an interception, and they threw an interception, and it's kind of, it hit a guy in the hands, but it hit a guy in the hands behind him as he's running away.
Yeah,
and it was a bullet of a pass.
It's tough.
Just throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, I agree.
Just throw the ball out of bounds.
The ACC as a whole got shaken up. Miami lost to Syracuse.
What a great day for the Cuse.
Sheesh, down 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. Come back and win. It's crazy.
For legal reasons, I cannot say anything negatively about the Miami Hurricanes. For legal reasons.
Because you don't want your rent to go up.
For legal reasons, I cannot say that.
It's too bad Joe Biden didn't say that about a pardon. No, that the Orange Men had their biggest comeback in the history of their football program, which is like 1 billion years old.
Well, the thing about Miami is we all know they have a high-powered offense, but their defense stinks. And when you have a stinky defense, you can't turn the ball over. You definitely can't give up fumble recoveries for touchdowns.
No, that was a sick fumble recovery.
Yeah.
The strip and score.
Yep.
The strip and the score.
Change the outcome of the game right there. Change the trajectory of the game.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it's going to be kind of interesting. We got games this weekend, which will really, really be fun.
Yep.
Texas is playing Georgia in a rematch. You've got SMU and Clemson, which is not a rematch, right? Did they play during the regular season?
I don't think they have played once. I can double check it real quick for you, though.
Okay. We're watching you double check, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
But what I will tell you, though, as a Georgia fan, I lost years of my life watching that game against Georgia Tech. Goodness gracious. 8 overtimes, second most in NCAA history.
Notre Dame is called. They want their leprechaun back, Georgia.
Yeah, right.
Whatever you guys stole them, maybe Florida State picked them up, delivered them to you, but that was just one more kind of luck win.
Did you
guys
stay up and watch the game?
Well, yes and no. At my age, I turned it on late in the fourth quarter to watch it get tied and to go to overtime. Watched the first and second overtime. Fell asleep. Woke up at the end of the sixth overtime and watched the seventh and eighth overtime. I took a nap in there during some of the overtimes. It was late. It was after 8 o'clock, Levi.
Georgia Tech handed them a gift. They ran the ball down their throat the entire game and didn't do one run play in the overtimes.
Yes.
Once they hit like the 2-point conversion style overtime, the third overtime.
Yep.
So from the third to the ninth overtime, not a single run play from Georgia Tech. It's wild. Their quarterback had, going into overtime, their quarterback had 175 yards rushing.
Yes. And he fumbled the ball on a really good hit.
Yep.
The kid had played a great game.
Yep.
Played an absolutely phenomenal game. He's on the verge of one of the biggest upsets. Would have rocked Georgia's world.
Yep.
Right? Just rocked them.
Thank goodness it didn't happen.
Yeah. Did you hear that Travis was put on IR? Travis.
Trevor.
Trevor. I think Barbara Jean means Trevor.
Yes.
And the Texans coach had the gall, we're going to clean that up, to blame Trevor for the hit.
Yeah, it was a joke. It was horrible. The hit was one of the most egregious hits I've seen on a quarterback in probably the past 5 years.
Yes.
It was completely uncalled for. The 3-game suspension is a fair suspension. I think so. And I think he should get hit with a $100,000 fine as well.
You got the $100,000 fine and the 3-game suspension, Mr. Blake?
I definitely agree with that as well. It was definitely one of the most dirtiest hits that we've seen, but it wasn't like the most like nasty quarterback hit ever. Like because I remember seeing like old clips of YouTube of like Eagles quarterback Ron Jaworski gang like blitzed, like getting knocked out by like Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Like so
Different game back then.
It was a different game back then, but still, like in this current NFL, you cannot hit a sliding quarterback, so definitely deserve fine.
Watch me get Barbara Jean's attention. Watch this. It's really simple.
Oh no.
Trevor Lawrence took a very dirty hit. None of those hits compared to a single game that Fran Tarkington played in back in the day with the Minnesota Vikings. Because if you watch this, like he was a scrambling QB. He'd get outside the pocket, and those defensive players were headhunting him.
Yeah.
And that guy got racked and then get right back up and throw amazing passes. So there you go, Barbara Jean. Hope you're feeling better.
Well, Trevor Lawrence is becoming Tua 2.0, so...
I don't know that
too early to say.
I think that's too early. And I think some of it is sometimes you get outside the pocket and you're a mobile quarterback, and these defensive players are lightning quick and you get hit faster than you think you're going to. But I do think he slid. He was down early enough. The guy could have easily missed him. He went clearly for the non-throwing shoulder.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I think he should have been suspended. He is going to be suspended. The fine should be six figures.
Yeah.
100% six figure. And, I give the Jaguars, Evan Ingram credit for going up and shoving him right after it happened. That's what you want your teammates to do that.
To protect you, yeah.
Yeah, if I'd been the referee, I just would have walked up to him and said, I saw you slip there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw a flag, but you need to back up.
Right.
Take one more step forward and I'll throw the flag for that.
Yeah.
No more slipping into that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was just a dirty, nasty hit in my mind. So, yes, not good. And I love Mac Jones, but he was a little off.
Yeah.
A couple of throws in that game is a little tighter, a little closer. But that's been the story of the Jags this year. They have the talent. They're just not putting it together.
The Jags are in contention for the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
So it's time to tank the season.
Time to tank.
Tank.
They agree it's done. It's definitely done. Try go after Travis Hunter.
Travis, okay. He's the DB wide receiver
for Colorado.
Yeah, for Colorado.
He'll win the Heisman.
Okay.
Should be Genty, but here's there.
Okay. All right.
I personally like it is great to see like a two-way player take that many snaps for one team because we've seen that with like Shohei Ohtani, like being a pitcher and a batter. But however, though, I do think like a better running back season, like a historic running back season is much more valuable than two-way player. That's my personal opinion about that.
All right. Another question about the NFL.
Yes.
The Chiefs. Are they being unduly favored by the league office? Man, neither one of you guys. You don't have season tickets anywhere. You're good. I'm just trying to figure out, you guys, what do you think, Blake?
What's our red laser doing up there? Is it trying to point at me over here? I'm gonna say no. They're not favored. They're not favored at all.
They're favored.
Yeah.
They're favored.
I didn't believe some of the stories at first, but some of the stuff that I've watched this season, I'm like,
yeah.
When it's like the fifth time that it's happened, you're like, okay, somebody just wants the Chiefs to win 3.
Yeah, I mean, heck, if the Chiefs have their own Hallmark Christmas movie, not even one movie, 2 Hallmark Christmas movies, then there's a little bit of league favoritism there.
Were the Chiefs the one who lost in the Super Bowl to the Dolphins when they went undefeated?
No, that was the Washington team we cannot say anymore.
The Redskins.
Yeah, Washington Redskins.
They're bringing the Redskins back.
Yeah.
They're bringing it back.
All right.
They're bringing it all back. It's like J.R. Ewing died. The next season of Dallas was horrible. And then at the end of that season, somebody said they woke up out of a dream and J.R. was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So they just took an entire season of Dallas and wiped it out. And that's what they're going to do. We're just going to ignore that we were the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should keep both the logos because they can make tons of money in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be a good marketing play.
And if they make good money in marketing, all the other teams are going to want a second name too. Because it's all about the money.
That's a fact.
Dion would say, it's about the bag and the size of the bag, and they want a bigger bag.
It is. Do you think Travis Hunter will play both ways in the NFL?
I think they probably put him on defense more than offense, but they probably use him in offense and punt returns.
Kind of like what they did with Dion, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You can't play every
No.
single snap both ways in the NFL. His career would be 3 years.
But if he did it one game, it might be a record for the latest player to do it. I'm sure there were players back in the day that went both ways.
Yeah,
But you probably got to go back to the early years of the NFL.
for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Like, I definitely think he'll definitely be more defensive, like layer, like throughout the majority of his career, if it even has a long career to begin with at all. But definitely like. But it's like his first 2 years, they may try to do like limited two-way.
Yeah, I would agree. Special packages on the offensive side, trick plays.
For sure.
He needs to be an offense, like a Dan Campbell style offense, where they can utilize him. Not one of these predictable offenses where they just run the ball twice and then throw it on third and then punt it away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it'd be fun to have him in the Jaguars franchise. I hope that he's not like our other number one picks that don't pan out very well, but I hope that he's there. And I do believe that the Jags are on the cusp of doing something really good if they could just put it all together.
Fire their coach.
And I don't know what the intangible is. It might be firing the coach. I just don't know. I mean, I'm not a Doug Peterson hater, but I also know this much. Most of what the Jaguars have put on the field this year has been unwatchable.
Yep.
And I quit watching a long time ago.
Yep.
Sundays for me are free. I can go do whatever I want to do because the Jaguars don't play good enough for me to want to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
When the playoffs start, I'll start watching some of the other stuff. But until then, I can wait.
Well, I shouldn't say wasted because I got to see my girlfriend's family, but I went to Detroit for the game and I was ready to leave it at halftime. So when you say unwatchable, I know exactly what you mean.
It's just not watchable. It's got to be better. It's got to be better football. It's got to be football that's fun to watch. And what's out there right now is just not.
No.
It's just not there.
No.
It's just not there. It's just not any fun. All right. Games this weekend. What game are you most looking forward to?
Texas, Georgia.
Texas, Georgia.
It has to be Texas, Georgia. But second place will probably be UNLV, Boise State. That might be a good game for the Mountain West championship.
Okay. And Notre Dame's off. They don't have to play anybody.
No, they
That's
don't have
kind
to
of a gift to those guys.
Yeah, but they're only limited to the 5th seed because the first 4 seeds go to the highest conference champions.
Okay. So it's UNLV and Boise, Tulane and Army, right?
Yeah.
Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State. I think I'm going to be glued to that one. Penn State and Oregon. UGA, the Dogs and the Longhorns, Clemson and SMU.
That'll be a good one.
I'm actually looking forward to that game. I think SMU has probably gotten the most disrespect this year.
Mm-hmm.
So if they beat Clemson, great for them. If they don't, then everyone's going to say we should have disrespected them. Iowa State, Arizona State might be fairly interesting. That's kind of it.
If Clemson wins, they're in the playoff, right?
Yes.
If Clemson wins, they're in. I think if they lose, they're out.
Yeah, I would agree.
They're just not going to. And I think SMU, if they lose in a close game that's an overtime game, might get in.
Yeah.
If not, they might get bumped. So
and Georgia and Texas are both in regardless, right?
Yes.
That's my understanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
From what I understand, yes.
Unless it's like a super blowout, unless Georgia gets blown out by like 30, the committee could keep them out.
I think regardless, there'll still be a lock because, maybe I don't know, but the one thing that's always stuck in my head is they're somehow still going to put Alabama in at number 11.
They have on my sheet, they have them in at number 11. I'm not sure Bama deserves to be in there.
I don't think so.
Jordan Milrose is one of the more hot and cold players. When he's good, he's good. He's great. First half against Georgia. And when he struggles, it's the second half.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of a. Now, some of the games, if these come out, Penn State and Arizona State, I'm not jonesing to watch that one. Ohio State and Tennessee. If you guys are like me, I'm going to be rooting for the referees in that game. I don't like either one of those teams. So, yeah. And then Notre Dame, Alabama, if that happens, I think that'd be a good game. But I think Notre Dame beats them. Notre Dame's got an offense right now. They can put up points.
Ohio State and Tennessee, that game, the loser doesn't make the playoff, right?
No, this is if the playoff were held today.
Oh, if it were held
These
today?
are all if the playoff were held today.
This is first round.
Yeah, this is first round for held today. Obviously, this is all going to get shaken up. and they have SMU winning
I was
the
Tennessee's in the
ACC.
SEC. I was
No,
confused for a second. I was like, did they transfer to the Big Ten? I didn't know.
I tell you, a fun game to
Was I
watch.
uninformed?
If Georgia were to play
Might
Indiana,
happen.
that would be a fun game too.
Yeah.
Georgia Indiana would be a fun game.
Yeah, Georgia would blow Indiana out.
Yeah, and they actually have right now Texas in as the team with the bye as the number 2 seed and Georgia out. Obviously, all of this changes depending on wins and losses. And I think both Texas and Georgia end up there no matter what happens in that game.
Yep.
I'm not sure some of the other teams.
Playoffs in college football. How exciting.
That's so. I definitely like at least having more teams in, but at the same time though, you always come back to the point of of should these teams actually be in the playoff once again? Because if it's 2, 4, or 12, there's always going to be some people that just going to be angry.
Well, right now we're going to argue over the 13th team. The 13th team got left out, and everybody's going to cry foul because that's what happens. When it was 2 teams, it was the 3rd team. When it was 4 teams, it was the 5th team, right? There's 68 teams in the NCAA tournament. It's the 69th team that's always complaining.
Yep.
We're not in. We should have been in. We got disrespected.
It's going to happen regardless.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's just the nature of it. And sports guys love arguing over it because it gives them entire content for a show without having to do any work. Pick an aggrieved team, let their fans complain, and it's a cakewalk of a show.
Perfect. Yep.
It's a cakewalk of a show. All right. Levi, you have not had to chime in yet. Blake has on Monday. The Hunter Biden pardon. Comments from the Ute vote on the Hunter Biden pardon.
Comments as in what?
Do you have anything that you would like to enlighten everyone on?
It shouldn't have been allowed to happen. It's ridiculous. It just shows how much of a clown show the political landscape is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mind blowing to me that the president can just be like, "Oh, that's my son. Doesn't matter what he did. I can pardon him." So it's just more reaffirming that it's all about who you know and not what you know.
We kind of had that discussion in here Monday. Blake actually agreed with you a little bit. Am I not paraphrasing it correctly, Blake?
Yeah, I would say so. Like you're always going to have it's happened in the past. It's happened. It's happening today. It's always going to happen. There's always going to be someone. There's always going to be a group of people that's going to be more fortunate to you that has like all the power and can basically just do whatever they want to do. And while us common folks have to play by the rules that they create.
Yep.
I agree 100% with that. Right. And it's on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, for sure.
There are Republican kids who have gotten preferential treatment as well. You had more than one Republican's offspring or relative working in the Ukraine energy sector as well. It wasn't restricted to Hunter Biden. There were offsprings from both parties that were over there enriching themselves while giving advice.
Yep. I know people on the local level who, because of who they know, have got out of trouble. I'll just say that. That's all I'm going to say about that.
We all do.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
if you don't have that story, then you don't know enough people.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't have that story, you do not know enough people. Yeah. No, I think it's very interesting, too, to watch Democrats backtrack on, oh, no, there's been a change. The rule of law is the rule of law. It doesn't matter what the change is. You should uphold that. Just because you don't like the person that maybe is coming into office doesn't mean the rule of law should change. You should adhere to it. If that's your thing. I think the Democrats electing Biden sold out, getting him the win in 2020. I think that their support of him, even though he had cognitive decline, has cost their party dearly. They have reshuffled the deck. There's no clear front runner for 2028. Most of the Democrats that are out there are not well liked. Whenever the Vice President Harris is your leading candidate for the next election cycle, after blowing $1 billion and not winning, I don't think that's good for your party.
Yeah, I think there's basically a civil war going on inside the Democratic Party. Look, you can't be a losing party where you lose every single thing. You lose the popular vote, you lose the swing states, you lose the House, you lose, the Supreme Court, you lose everything. It just doesn't make sense to be a losing party. Like what's the point of having two parties if you're going to have one that loses everything?
That's correct.
we'll see. The Democratic Party's shaking up right now. They got 4 years to rebuild. So,
well, they're going to rebuild for the next election cycle that comes along is replacing the Republicans in the House.
yep.
So I think the
That's 2 years,
Republicans
right?
have a 1-seat advantage, Blake. Am I right? Is it 1 or 2 seats? It's 220 to 216.
I do think it's like 220 to 215.
Yeah. So I think it's very, very close. So you're going to see millions, if not billions of dollars poured into the special elections to keep red seats red and to keep, because you got to replace Gates, Waltz here in Florida. There may be one other one. And you got Stefanik in New York. So you've got some pretty heavy hitters. I think the amount of money the Dems are going to spend outrageously, because if they don't win enough of those House races to take control of the House, they can't check Trump for 2 years. And I fully expect them to invest in that.
Yeah.
I will also say this: if they check Trump for the next 2 years, if they're lucky enough to win, they will get blown out in the midterm, because people will show up yet again to say, we want change.
Right.
And the Democrats are like, okay, well, we thwarted it for 2 years, but it's coming. I mean, I think this Doge concept that Trump and Elon and Vivek are running, when it gets Bernie Sanders to say he agrees with it, even though it was just for the Defense Department, that's called momentum.
Yeah.
That's called people saying, hey, we want some changes here.
Yep. I like it. I'm excited about the Doge. That's probably my favorite thing that's come out of this election is this Department of Government Efficiency. I'm excited to see the changes that they attempt to make and what actually works and what doesn't. And you couldn't have picked two better people to run it, in my opinion.
Oh, I fully agree. Someone asked me the other day, why would Elon Musk do this? And I said, well, it's simple. The guy's already invented rockets. He's already invented a rocket that can be caught on the way back down and landing. He has an electric car company that has done extremely well. He has 18 or 20 kids. I'm not sure what the count is currently. A lot.
I think it's 13.
It's a lot. He's got a lot of kids. And so a guy his age, you're looking for a challenge. And someone says, nobody can reform government. It's an impossible job. Elon Musk's like, I'll take that job.
Yeah.
I've done all the other impossible. Let me try this.
Yep.
And I think it is going to be difficult, but I think his approach to it and Vivek's approach to it could be amazing. Just turn him loose, let him go. There's a lot of waste that needs to be done away with.
Yeah.
A lot. Are you agreeing with this? You look very serious over there.
Yeah, I definitely like the concept of Doge. Like there definitely is a lot of military spending, congressional and political fundraising, spending that we do in the United States. Like do we really need like all these programs? So yeah, I do approve of it. However, I'm not personally a huge fan of Elon Musk personally. I do love his like companies and his ambition to get us to Mars, to make us a better society, like and to actually work in space. However, personality wise, I'm not a huge fan of like his stick.
Okay. All right.
That's fair.
That's fair. I think that's
fair.
That's a great, All right. Other Pete Hegseth. We're sitting here today. Does Pete make it another week?
Go ahead.
Ooh, I wish, but I'm sorry. I'm going to say no. I think it all comes down to the fact that it all comes down to the fact that he used to be like he was mainly a Fox News guy. I think him being on TV more often than actually working in the military is what's ultimately going to cost him the Secretary of Defense position.
Not the salacious stories that they keep throwing out there.
They like to say it's that, but it's really because he doesn't really have the experience of like actually because how many years has he spent at Fox News? Like 10 years, 8 years?
He's been there at least that long.
Mm-hmm.
He's a decorated war veteran, right? I think 2 Purple Hearts, maybe 2 Bronze Stars, one of those. He's been highly decorated. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but he has been. Your comments?
I don't know anything about him, so I can't comment on it.
So gosh, I am talking to a Republican. Think about it for a second. You'll figure it out.
I have no idea who he is. So
I I look at Hegseth as and I'm not going to completely compare him to Grant.
What job does he hold?
He is currently a Fox newscaster, but he has been nominated by Donald Trump for Secretary of Defense. So the Defense Department's a mess. He was a warrior. He served tours of duty in, I want to say, Iraq and Afghanistan before he became a newscaster guy. There's some things in his private life, salacious details that we won't cover here that are being brought up. But I kind of like the comparison to Grant for me, right? Ulysses S. Grant was not wanted as a general. He graduated from West Point. He ended up getting posted way out west. There were stories of him drinking too much and being a drunk. So this is all prior to the start of the Civil War. When the Civil War starts, Grant doesn't get asked to come back to the Union Army, even though he's a West Point graduate and is pretty young. He gets picked up by, I want to say, the Ohio Militia Regiment. He's asked to command them. He does very well in some battles. Meanwhile, our President Lincoln is going through generals one at a time that just cannot beat Robert E. Lee, cannot beat him, and the war is dragging on. And the South is defeating what is supposed to be some of the best generals in the North. Out west, in the Mississippi River Valley, a river basin, where their fight is out there, Grant is doing much better. And so Grant, with some victories, gets noticed by Lincoln and gets promoted. Obviously, then he steps up all the way to running for president and becoming president. But Grant was, in my opinion, not the drunk that he was made out to be.
Right.
Was a guy that just happened to be in the right place at the right time, but was overlooked because he wasn't flashy, he wasn't flamboyant, he wasn't wasn't the best. He actually got dressed down during the Mexican War by an officer who came into Grant's supply area, and Grant was not dressed properly. That officer was Robert E. Lee. They would next meet again at Appomattox when Grant rode through the night, was completely covered in mud to accept Robert E. Lee's surrender of the South. So just for me, I think Grant's one of those characters. I hope Hegseth is one of those guys that can go in there and go, this is BS. This shouldn't be run this way. No, we shouldn't be spending this much money on these items. No, we shouldn't be doing DEI. We should be teaching people to fight and kill and survive. And that's the focus of the Army. It's not a social experiment. The focus of the Army is to, as Rush Limbaugh would say, kill people and break things.
Yes. That's
their focus. And they should be exceptionally good at it. Because if they're not exceptionally good at it, the rest of us are going to be forced into killing people and breaking things.
Yes, correct.
So
the way I look at it, not knowing who he is, what I will say is that Trump, when he went on Joe Rogan, he said that the biggest hurdle, one of the biggest hurdles that he faced during his first term was he didn't know how many positions he had to appoint, and he didn't understand the consequences of not doing his due diligence on appointing the correct people for those positions. And he said he thought that really hindered him during his first term.
Yep.
So this time around, I think he knows that, and I have to trust our commander in chief that we voted in as a country to make the right choice.
And I think there are a lot of Republican establishment types who are like, oh, President Trump, we're all with you. You should take this guy. He's got experience and you need his experience. And all of those guys that they pointed to that they said had all this experience were only there to slow Trump down.
Yeah.
They were only there to perpetuate the swamp and to keep the status quo going and to get through the Trump administration.
Correct.
So there is another rumor out there. I need you guys to comment on this one. Starting with Levi, DeSantis replacing Hegseth as the nominee for Secretary of Defense.
I don't like it.
No. I don't agree with that decision. Like morally for Ron to basically suck up to the guy that called you Meatball Ron and Ron DeSanctimonious, to suck up to that guy. Come on. Really?
So you don't want him to be like Marco Rubio with the little hands, who is going to become Secretary of State. Not like that guy. Not like Lindsey Graham, who's become his best friend whenever he just ripped Lindsey Graham. Mocked him, ridiculed him, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, So I guess then congratulations, Secretary DeSantis.
I think DeSantis, I really think he should have stopped campaigning against Trump long before he did.
I agree.
But that's his choice, right? And I think some of it is you have a lot of consultants telling you just hang in. Trump's going to get indicted for this. It's going to be the
Yeah.
end. Trump's going to get indicted for that, which he did. But as we all know, much to Blake's dismay, it was not the end. It was just the beginning of a beautiful friendship with President 47.
I mean,
look, Jay,
recent history has shown us when you try to cancel someone that hard, all it does is polarize their character even more.
Mhm.
And, you know, obviously with Trump, we saw it on the biggest global scale possible. But even in my work line of work, when they tried to ban big creators from YouTube that didn't follow the political guidelines that YouTube decided to lay out, talking about the 2020 shutdowns, not the way they wanted to, correct.
We're just going to say COVID.
Yeah.
Because basically right now, Meta can suck it.
Yeah.
Because Meta was 100% wrong with all the suppression that they did. The report that came out earlier this week, yesterday maybe, clearly says a lot of the stuff that the government told us to do was wrong. The conspiracy theorists were mostly right.
Mm-hmm.
And those people that had the backbone to stand up for themselves are probably going to do better in the future because they decided not to do things that the government told them.
Yep. And the YouTube creators that did get kicked off the platform are now fully on X, and they're doing better than they ever were on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I do think, I forgot where we were even going with this, but we were
talking about DeSantis replacing Hicks.
Oh, yeah. DeSantis. Here's my thing with DeSantis, right? From people that are close to DeSantis that have interviewed him in long form and have been to some of these political party rallies with him or these fundraising dinners, they've said that DeSantis is great with policy. He's not good with people.
Mm-hmm.
He's not good at working a room. He's not good at, you know, getting people to see his point of view. He's great with making policies. And as we've seen it with Florida, how he handled everything. But when you are running at that level, not at a state level, but at a federal level, you got to be able to famoose the goose a little bit.
I don't know that. If it's true, it's an interesting point about him. I met him personally, had several conversations with him because I was running for office the same cycle he ran the first time. He won successfully for the congressional seat. I lost for the state house seat, but had discussions with him. I thought he was fine to talk to in a one-on-one situation, right? I do think that if he's in a combative situation with a reporter, I like him. He's got the facts. He drills down into the wheres and the whys, and I think he does a really good job. I thought he did a great job during a lot of the COVID interviews over those things. I thought it was harder for him in some friendly interviews, so maybe that's where that comes out when there's not that combativeness. I also will say this: I see Trump or floating out DeSantis as the next name as almost a warning to the Senate. If you don't approve Pete, you get Ron.
That could be true.
I'm not backing down. I'm not giving you somebody out of your sphere of influence that will do what the swamp wants them to do or what the establishment wants. I'm still giving you a guy that is going to wreck you. And for Ron DeSantis, it's a great opportunity to grow his name and his brand and to get that opportunity again to run for president down the road. He's plenty young enough to be able to do that. Right? So it gives him a great opportunity. I will be devastated for him not to be the governor of Florida because he saved all our lives.
He did.
He kept our businesses open. He kept us working. He kept food on the table. Cannot thank him enough. If Andrew Gillum had been our governor, our economy would have been wrecked.
And so
wrecked.
If that happens, if it plays out and he takes that job, he can't be the governor of Florida, obviously. We only get him for one more term anyways, right?
He's done right now.
He cannot run again in 2026. He's done.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He's essentially got a year and a half left.
Mm-hmm.
So leaving now, while it would hurt us, doesn't devastate us. I guess in my opinion too, I don't want to see a wide open, crazy Republican race for Florida governor. I'd like to see a couple of decent candidates. Like to see if the lieutenant governor can do the job. Mm-hmm. So it'd be great for the lieutenant governor to get that chance. But again, I still think Heggs has a great chance of getting through.
No,
I really do. I think a lot of the smear stuff is just not going to work the way it worked 8 years ago with Trump.
Right.
I just don't see all that. Also, anything interesting out of the COVID report that you saw that you went, yeah, I knew that?
Out of what COVID report?
Coming out of Congress.
I didn't see the COVID report coming out of Congress.
So let me get.
My ignorance is bliss here.
You are doing good today. You know sports ball.
No sports ball.
No sports ball.
I can talk to you about all the news on the internet on X.
We may go there in just a second. I'm going to let you pick the next topic. Blake, the news that 6 foot distancing didn't work and masks didn't work. Does that surprise you or not surprise you?
I had a feeling none of them was really like the answer to everything, because clearly it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do believe like it did help us a little, like slowed it down a little bit compared to being like this close together,
Mm-hmm.
like just strangers in the room. Like I definitely didn't want like people going into like a 20,000 or 100,000 stadium cheering on the Jaguars because you also have two public health crises, COVID and watching the Jaguars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask the question. What was the news that came out of Congress? Because I have opinions on what was just said, but I didn't know what Congress said.
So Congress passed a report. The virus probably originated in the Wuhan laboratory.
Okay, we knew that.
We all knew that.
Yeah.
The government has never told us
Has
that.
never told us that publicly.
Yeah. Natural immunity was better than vaccinated immunity.
Okay.
Which I anecdotally, I don't have the scientific evidence, but anecdotally, the people that I know that didn't get vaccinated generally did pretty well with COVID.
Yep.
Some of the people that did get vaccinated seemed to get it more often than the people that were not vaccinated.
Yep.
I'll also tell you that whenever we watched the surges in cases, once Flagler Hospital put the data online, the majority of the people that got infected first were vaccinated people. The majority of the people that got infected on the back end of the wave were the unvaccinated. Now, I don't have all the details for why that was, right? There were more vaccinated in St. Johns County than unvaxxed. So was it just simply the numbers, or was it the fact that people that were vaccinated were more at risk? They were more susceptible to a virus anyway. And whether it was COVID or just a flu, they were going to get sick, right? Obviously COVID being worse than the flu. So I don't have those answers. I don't know that. It'd be interesting to kind of see what studies they come up with, but that's kind of the.
For me from the beginning, right? When COVID first hit, and they were talking about coming out with the vaccine, I was trying to convince my dad not to get the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So him and my mom both got the first round of vaccines. My dad has never had health issues since I've been alive. And about a year after that, he had some severe health issues that I can, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but in my opinion, that was a contribution to it. Blocked arteries, stuff, things of that nature. As far as COVID went as a whole, I've always been someone that's always been like, if you eat healthy, if you take care of yourself in the gym, you exercise, you create a bodily environment within yourself that has the tools it naturally needs to fight disease. Mm-hmm. That's always the best first line of defense than putting a substance that hasn't had the proper testing and has been pushed through into your body out of fear.
Yeah.
So I've always been against vaccination, and that's
like all vaccinations or just.
Okay. So I didn't know. And I was ignorant to it because I got the vaccines you get as a kid. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against all of them,
mm-hmm.
but the more the data comes out now, I am against a lot of the ones that they give young children.
Well, I think the argument has been for the last few years is that the bundle and giving X number of shots to a child at one time is not good for all children, right? Some kids may handle that great. Their body can deal with it. Other kids can't. And when we were kids, you went to the doctor a lot of times to get different shots. It's like, well, you're 3 years old, you're getting this shot. You're 3.5 years old, you're getting this shot. You're 4 years old, you're getting this shot.
Right.
But you didn't get all the shots at one time as a young child.
Right.
So there's some to that. I would love to say, okay, let's look at that because we did change that and the outcome has changed. Some kids aren't handling that much of a vaccine all at one time. Their body just can't handle it. Other kids are fine, but we ought to go look. I did have a conversation with somebody who was a big proponent of getting vaccinated over the Thanksgiving holiday. Actually, kind of two people, and one was in a high risk category. The other was not, but they both said the same thing: is the booster shot that gave them adverse effects. It was the booster shot that turned on things that they had survived or gotten sick with earlier that were now back. And one doctor told one of the guys I talked to, said, yeah, the doc said, did you get boosted? Yes, I did. When did all this start? After the booster. And so, obviously that's what they're looking at. Could that be the only reason? No, couldn't be. There could be something else, but that was, it's kind of an obvious one when you go, this is the one thing we've done differently.
Right.
So that's the thing. Blake, comments?
I don't really have much to talk about like the vaccine debate. So I got my first shot back in May, like March of 2021. Then I got my second in April 2021. I really didn't notice anything personally for me.
Mm-hmm.
So but personally, I did not regret getting the shot because in my mind, like I know if I got the shot, I want to be with family. I want to go around the world. I want to do a lot of things that are restricting me from doing those things if I don't get the shot. So I got the shot, and I don't regret that because I got to spend a lot of time doing the stuff like that I was able to do.
I have a crazy COVID story if we have time for it.
You do, but one question. Barbara Jean wants to know how your dad's doing.
My dad's doing good.
Okay.
He's doing good.
Right.
Yeah.
Barbara Jean, thank you for asking.
Yeah, he's doing good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. But so I was in California during the height of all this. We went out there for a work trip, and long story short, I got my head slammed into a birthday cake that was a triple layer birthday cake, and there was a wooden dowel in the cake. Goes into my eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
And splits my eyelid open. Thank God it doesn't pierce my retina. Didn't know at the time, just knew I had a dowel that stuck my eye and I was bleeding. So I was in Hollywood. So I get rushed to Cedars-Sinai.
Yes.
And worst hospital I've ever been to in my life. Sat there for 3 hours untreated.
Mm-hmm.
And
with a bleeding eye.
With a bleeding eye.
Yeah, it's not critical to get to those early.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not knowing if I'm going to need retina surgery, not knowing anything, eyes completely swollen shut. Horrible situation. Yeah. Doctor finally comes in and starts talking to me. Uh-huh. First question before she even asks how my eye is, am I vaccinated?
Yeah.
And I told her no. And she said, well, we really recommend you get the vaccine before we treat you. And
is it going to stop my bleeding?
And I told her, I said, ma'am, I'm from Florida. And if you are telling me you're not going to treat me if I don't get the vaccine, I'll get on a flight tonight and fly home to have treatment. Yeah. And she ended up treating me, but she wasn't happy about it. She was very standoffish towards me. Yeah. They did like a saline drip on my eye to see if it went into my retina. Yeah, see if it went into my retina. Yeah, exactly. And she goes, good news, not pierced. Gave me 2 stitches and sent me on my way. But, I had 3 people approach me during my 3.5, 4 hour time at the hospital that I should have gotten the vaccine while I was there.
Appreciate the advice and concern. Can you fix my eye?
Yeah, exactly.
Came for the eye, not the rest of it.
Wild story. It was crazy.
This is the emergency room. The eye's an emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you were on either side of that, there were a lot of people that were vaccinated that were pushing people that were unvaxxed to get vaxxed. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of unvaxxed that had to deal with people pushing them not to get vaxxed. They just said, I don't want to do it. Right. And in retrospect, one of the guys that pushed it a lot because he was in a high risk group was Scott Adams. Scott Adams did a show probably a year ago and said the group that has come out of this whole thing the best right now is the unvaxxed. They're the ones that are the healthiest, and they're the ones that have the least amount of problems. He said, I don't know what it's going to be like in a few years, but that's what it is now. And if you made that decision, you seem to have made the best decision. That was his way of apologizing because he was pretty staunch on you need to get the vaccine.
I got COVID really early on, lost taste and smell. Mm-hmm. I went to the public place up here where you do the drive-through. They shove the thing up your nose. By the time they had told me that, oh yeah, it came back as positive COVID, was 14 days and I was already better. But I kicked it in 3 days. I drank water. I fasted. I didn't eat anything, drank water, and I went to the sauna twice a day. Yeah. No medicine, no ivermectin, no nothing. Just did that, and it was gone in 3 days. Yeah. My taste and smell didn't come back for about, 5 to 6 days, but then 2 weeks later, I get a call and said, hey, you should stay inside. You have COVID.
Well, and that's the other
And
one,
I'm
right?
like, thanks
What-
for telling me now.
What's the one thing they want you to get is vitamin D.
Yeah.
Where do you get that? Outside in the sun.
Yep.
Where do they tell us not to go? Don't go outside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I was outside.
Yeah.
In my yard.
You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm fine. I'm okay, Mr. Davis.
You got a COVID story you want to share?
No, no, not really. I think things like mainly for me, like the worst thing about COVID was like I was a freshman. My first year of Flower College was basically cut because of COVID. So and like the worst feeling ever was just hopping on a Zoom call and just pretending to be happy and just pretending to listen to wherever the lecture was that day.
I think Zoom calls were great for business. I think they're horrible for school.
For sure.
I think they're horrible for school.
Horrendous. I think like it's like Thai special ed classes when when it was on Zoom, it was just not fun to sit next to him and help him out with that. It was just like, oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You graduate from Flagler?
I graduated in 2023.
Congratulations. I graduated from Flagler too.
Thank you. Congratulations.
2014 though.
I just was wondering how far back you were going to go. Yeah.
2014.
No, I just, for me, there's a lot of disinformation. I had a lot of conversation with different people, and I felt like we should have tried everything, right? I thought putting all your eggs in one basket to try to solve something is always a bad idea.
Yeah, I would agree.
You should, no financial advisor tells you to put all your money in crypto or all your money in a savings account or all your money. They tell you to diversify. They should tell you. Because you shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket.
Diversify inside of crypto.
I don't know about that. I'm leery about that.
Okay, do you want to hear my argument?
Yeah, you go.
How much did you invest in Doge? Like after announcement?
I've made more money in Doge than I ever made in the stock market. And Edward Jones had control of my stock market portfolio for 7 years. And when I took control of my own investments, I've 1,500x what they were doing. So, I'm full on crypto, and here's my argument for that, right?
Go.
If you invest in an S&P 500 level stock, right, or you just give it to your 401k company or anything like that, you're annually, I think it's 7% for the past 51 years or something like that it's grown. You can do that inside of crypto, and crypto is now today is what the stock market was back in 1940s, post World War II.
Just as long as it wasn't what the stock market was in the 1920s.
Correct.
Okay.
But it's in its infancy.
Yes.
It's the same as when the .com bubble happened. You had big investors that could, like the Warren Buffetts of the world, they were able to buy Apple for pennies on the dollar compared to what I can pay for it now. That's what crypto is now for our generation. The baby boomer generation doesn't understand crypto. They see it as a risky stock, but
because it's new,
and
it's unproven.
Because it's new. But to say it's unproven is it's Bitcoin is proven.
Well, it's proven over a very short period of time. Over your lifetime of investing, I don't know where it's going to be. If it's like all the other investments, whether they're stocks or bonds or real estate or whatever, all of that tends to go up and down. So more than likely, it's going to follow some of those eventually. Right now, it's on a nice rise and it stayed there for a while, but I think eventually it comes back to earth as well.
Here's what I'll say: the best way to create financial freedom, I believe, is investing in yourself first. Building a business of some kind, learning how to become a better person, and be smart with your money. You're not going to get rich in today's world investing in blue chip stocks. That's just not going to happen. But middle class America can get rich investing in crypto. I mean, there's 17-year-old kids that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars right now every single day in the crypto markets because they understand the blockchain. They understand how to maneuver on that investment side.
I'm watching Blake just shake his head over here.
Thanks for making me feel bad, Levi. I really appreciate that. Just bring up the 17-year-old millionaire that they got that invested in crypto. Yay them, whoopee.
I'm just saying it's the Wild West right now. But if you understand the landscape, there is tons of money to be made by literally looking at charts all day.
So where are they storing the crypto?
What do you mean storing it?
It's all
You need something physical.
It's on the internet. Somebody's got a record of the transaction somewhere in the cloud.
The transactions are open ledger. It's entirely decentralized. So if you have a crypto wallet and I have a crypto wallet, right? It's the same exact thing as if we had bank accounts, but I can send money from my bank account to your bank account in the real world, and I know about it. You know about it. The banks know about it.
Yes. The government knows about it.
In the crypto world, everyone knows about it. They don't know what it's for. They don't know anything. They just see wallet A sent this to wallet B, and it's completely decentralized. So as far as a store of value goes, there are a lot of crypto companies out there that they make a coin. This is what we call a meme coin, right?
Yes.
They make a coin. They make a certain amount of supply. The creator of that coin holds that supply and can divvy it up however they feel like it. Now, there are very few companies out there in the crypto world that are actual companies built around them. Ripple is one of them.
Yep.
I'm a huge Ripple guy because I know that there's an actual CEO, an actual CFO, a board of directors. I know the company's contracts with the government. I know their contracts with banks. I understand what the value of the coin is, what its purpose is, why it was built, what the blockchain that they run on is built for. So we can dive. This is a whole nother 4-hour podcast if we really get into this.
Yeah.
But there are crypto projects out there. Like if people want to invest in Bitcoin, that's great. It's like buying digital gold. But the best case scenario for Bitcoin is if it 10x's from here, it'll be $1 million a coin. You're only getting 10x on your investment. If you buy a coin that is 50 cents and it has a really good team behind it, an actual company behind it, and solves a real world problem, you're looking at a 1500x, a 2500x, a 5000x. And that's what Bitcoin was in 2010.
Okay.
So that's the short form.
Josh says you are speaking facts. And then you guys both have buddies that are doing well.
Yes.
Every day.
Every day.
Like, what if I gave you money to go invest? Would you just go to Levi and tell him, this is my money and I want to invest here?
Mike, if you ever gave me money, I'll spend it all on food. So
the only money that I've ever given you is for hard work.
Yes.
So, yes.
The day of the election, I took my girlfriend's entire 401k. She was freaking out. It was her whole life savings, right?
Yes. Yep.
Since the election, which was a month ago today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her portfolio that I've entirely invested her entire retirement into crypto via a retirement account.
Yes.
It has 5x. Yeah, 5x since then. A little over.
Barbara Jean, I don't feel old. This is just a way for young people to make money and maybe lose money, and then they'll have to make it again. I don't want them to lose the money they made. I want it to all be safe.
It will change the financial landscape.
Investing is never that way.
Cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology, people get caught up on the word cryptocurrency. Yep. Blockchain technology is going to change the financial institutions of the world forever.
Okay. All right. Blake, any predictions on any more Joe Biden pardons?
Ooh, good. Okay, let's see. So there's always like one like weird one that always comes out at the end. Like everyone's thinking like, oh, Joe Exotic was going to be pardoned by Trump.
So you're saying Jeffrey Dahmer?
No.
Okay, all right, just asking.
Who's a good celebrity that's in jail right now? Is Steve-O in jail?
I don't.
No, he's not.
No, he's
Dang
not.
it.
Harvey Weinstein's in jail, but he was complaining about the conditions.
Yeah, not him.
Give him worse conditions. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. 100% give him worse conditions.
P. Diddy.
Man, wow, that would everyone would quit talking about Hunter. I mean, literally, if he wants to get rid of Hunter off the page 1 and getting back to page 17, P. Diddy.
Yep.
P. Diddy. That's brilliant. You were kind of just like rolling through this show. You show up with blockchain and all this stuff and then drop a P. Diddy bomb at the very end.
But
you were holding back, Levi. Holding back.
But we'll say though, the only way President Biden gives PD pardon is if he has to tell the entire world which celebrities were involved with those crimes, because then those celebrities will be arrested.
They're never going to do that. Those
That's never gonna
celebrities are
happen.
Democratic donors.
No,
Correct.
of course they are.
They're in Hollywood. They don't donate to Republicans. The odds are they're Democrat donors. The odds are. Not every one of them is. Some of them may not donate at all. But if they're from Hollywood and it's a Hollywood party, the odds are, yes.
The actors and entertainment people, I should say, the entertainment industry, the ones that are Republican, they aren't in Hollywood anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They left.
Chris Pratt, he's a perfect example. He got chastised for saying he thanks God for his award.
MTV award. The MTV award of all awards.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
He hasn't made a movie since.
And I think he told people to work hard.
Yep.
Yeah, told people to work hard.
Yep.
So, all right, that is everything we have for today. Tomorrow, Levi will be back. Blake will be back. And Casey Van Rysden will be in here. So we're going to do about 20, 30 minutes of some really fun debate. All of a sudden, now that the election is over, finding fun trivia news questions is back. I found some of the best information today. And I was like, these are all great questions. I cannot wait to
It's my first trivia night, so.
Go back and watch trivia from like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Or whenever I was in last, and you'll get a kind of a feel for how trivia goes. So I would tell you to at least watch a show so you kind of get the rules of what we do.
Okay.
So it's a lot of fun. People online play as well. It's a great way to start the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's weekend eve, so we start the weekend on
Weekend
I probably won't do my research, so I'm just going to get tossed into the fire.
Okay, you'll do okay.
You'll do all right.
You'll do all right. All right, this is St. Augustine this evening. Thanks, everybody, for being on. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
See y'all.